Well, good morning, everybody. I am the Bald Guy. I am so thankful you have joined me here. We are continuing our journey into Genesis chapter 4 with Cain and Abel. That's right. I'm sure you all heard the story of Cain and Abel, how Cain killed Abel. And Cain was sent away, had some mark on him, all this stuff. Okay, but we're going to get a little deeper into it. Now, we've already talked about sacrificing, why God really wanted sacrifices in the first place. And now we talk about how he did that. Okay, how did they learn how to do it? That's pretty simple. Okay, as we continue our story, remember that God, through his angels, they came down and basically showed Adam how to do all these things that they were going to do to survive. And during that process, I'm sure the course over many years, as we discussed, was that because it took a while for them to learn how to do all this stuff. He basically said, now, I want you to put me first, so this is what you're going to do to keep me here, because you have a sinful nature and you want this or that to take over me, and you have to teach your children this too. And this goes to Moses, because remember, we're talking about the same God. So basically, how the sacrifices that when he taught Moses how to do in Leviticus, this is just a shortened version of this, okay? God kind of expanded a little bit because there was a lot more people, okay? But this is pretty much the same gist. They're saying through this whole time was that Adam, what you and your kids do, don't let that take over. I am first. I'm the one that gives you this. So, as I teach you to farm, I want you to take some of your grain, a tenth of your grain, and I want you to burn it for me. Not that I need it, but I want you to realize that I come first. Okay? As a visual thing. Because, we're humans. We got to be able to see it. Especially guys, we got to be able to see this stuff, in our heads. So, and in our eyes. So that's what God did. Basically, he's saying, okay, you take a tenth of this grain. As you're a farmer, you give it to me. Okay. When you teach your sons how to tend these sheep, I want you to take the best one you have. The very, very best one. And I want you to give it to me. Now, Bible is specific on when they were supposed to do it and all this other stuff. Don't know. Later, God chose specific times. And that was, in Leviticus and down the line through Moses' time. Okay? Where he gave specific times to do it. I believe, my opinion, is that maybe it was, at the beginning of the harvest or at the very beginning of the mating season for the sheep or whatever, that very best time. So that way they realize that, wow, God gave me all of this great stuff. Okay, I'm going to give a tenth of it back. God gave me all of this sheep. I want to give the very best back. I believe that's what God wanted that in their heads. Okay? So I believe that's what he did. And he told Adam, now teach your kids that. When you have kids, this is what you're going to teach them. And their kids are going to teach them. And so forth and so on. Because I know you guys are going to want to put these other things first. That these are first. That I'm just some deity in the background. No, I'm in front. Okay? I'm leading you. Okay? And you've got to remember that. So, again, and it falls back to why they sacrificed. Okay, so as we continue on, now that we realize that that's how they learned how to do it, and as we continue on, Cain and Abel, they have a couple of kids. First Cain, and then Abel. Now, we don't know the time. A lot of people think that maybe they were twins. Some of them, I more or less think that Cain was born, and then later on, Abel was born. And then immediately, I think this was just like a intermittent cycle. Like as soon as she was able to have another kid, boom, another kid, you know, and so forth and so on. So so this population of Earth can get going, because they were going to have to, hold on you skivvies, because this is the only way they could do it at the time. They were going to have to marry their sisters, and they were going to have to intermarry in the family. That was the only way the Earth was going to be populated at the time. Yeah, God could have made some others, but, you know, that's not the way it worked. Okay, God wanted us to multiply. So, and fill the earth. So they had to do it that way. So, you know, today's world, you know, no, but that's the way they had to do it at the time, okay? They had to marry within the family, and they had to be old enough to do that. Remember, they lived a very long time, too. Okay, so Adam and Eve punched out a lot of kids. So that family grew, and then that family grew. Now, as we get ready to delve into the story, because we're going to delve into that on the next video of actually Cain and Abel, because I don't want to delve too long here. But we're going to get this story going. Cain and Abel, they grew. Other ones were right behind them. And as they grew, they took wives. And then Cain went over here a little bit, stayed really close. Abel got his own family just right over here with the big circle in the middle, which was Adam and Eve. You have Cain, you have Abel. So you kind of get, they were still there. Well, Cain pops some kids out, so does Abel. Okay, they're older now. All right, they've already learned that Abel's going to be the sheep herder. He's going to tend all the flocks. Okay? And Cain, he's the farmer. Okay, he's taken over what his dad did, because he's going to be the next head of household. Now, this is how it worked back then. The firstborn always took over for the dad. When the dad got too old to do it, the son took over his position. Okay, so Adam gave each one of those the responsibility, and Cain was supposed to take over. And he was going to be the one that would follow this line all the way up to the Messiah at first. Then he screws up. And we'll see that next time. Okay, so we kind of got the gist of the storyline a little bit. They pop out a bunch of kids. They're popping out the kids here. Okay, and I'm sure they were teaching them about the sacrificing and stuff. Now we're going to get into the gist of this story coming together of the sacrifice and of Cain's rejection. Because somewhere in between there, Cain, he decided not to put God first. Abel did. He stayed true. He was going to be the one. And God warned Cain, and we'll see that. God warns Cain that, you know, if he don't straighten his act up, he's going to lose his position. Because Cain was supposed to be the one. Then there's going to fall to Abel. But Cain wasn't going to have nothing to do with that. And we'll see about that on the next video. Very interesting. And stuff you didn't know about. I bet 10 to 1. You read it just like I did. And went, okay. For some reason, God rejects Cain's sacrifice. You know, his heart wasn't in it, whatever. So he goes out and kills his brother because his brother's was. And then Cain gets some mark and sent off somewhere, and there formed the Canaanites. All fine and dandy. Yeah, that's a bunched up definition. But no, this story is fascinating. And as you get into it, and as we get into it, we'll see there is a lot more to this story than just that little bunched up thing. I mean, I'm telling you, it is crazy, okay? God's love, God's warning, what happens and a result of all of that. So, basically, that's all I have for today. next video, we get more into it. So we've got this gist of how all of this is unfolding. And now we'll get to the juicy stuff of the actual story of Cain and Abel. I am the Bald Guy. I am so glad you have joined me. And I will see you next time. I hope you have enjoyed and learned some stuff on sacrifices. My final thought, when you sacrifice of what you have, which is your money and your time, guess what? Give it from the heart. If you're not going to give it from the heart, don't do it at all, man. Because it don't mean a hill of beans if you don't do it from the heart. You put God first, all right? Give that money. God's going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. I mean, he's not going to give you a Rolls Royce, but he is going to take care of you and your family if you put him first. He says, put me to the test, folks. Will he not take care of you? He's not going to give you everything you want, but he'll give you what you need. So remember, sacrifice the right way. Okay? Be good. Okay? Try to do what God wants you to do. It ain't easy. It ain't fun. But hey, that's what we do. Okay? If you love him, and if you believe in him, then we do it. And we do it because we love him. That's why. Love story. Okay? I am the Bald Guy. I am out of here. Have a great day, and I will talk to you next time as we continue. Dun, 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 Cain and Abel. Ciao, folks.